Cool. Here we are. It's Rails pairing session. Tuesday, April 9th, 2019. Here with Abdelani, Stella, and I'm Matt. Hopefully, Siri will be joining us. I don't know if you saw the. I guess it. I haven't. Stella, we were talking about maybe working on some more local support stuff since it's kind of high priority. Is that still the plan? You're muted, but you're muted.
Oh shit! Oh yeah, I was saying that is what you decided last time.
Okay, cool, awesome. So I guess like what I should do is probably change the event so it pings like the Elk Spark channel as well. But in the meantime, well, I guess I can do that real quick because then I can share and I'll see if Abdelani wants to join us. Did you happen to get a chance, either one of you, to have a look at the issues that we created like yesterday as part of like the sprint?
No.
Okay, no worries. We can have a look together. So let me just add this local support, and then we save that. And now if I share this, all right, if I share this, it's going to ping general again. So I won't do that, I guess. I'll just share it straight to the local support channel, and then I'll ping Siri. Yes.
Last week we had 3 urgent issues and we solved one.
Right.
Are they 2 still pending?
Yes. I mean, I think I remember there were 3 issues. We solved one, I guess, like, and then one of them I felt like Siri was working on. And but I could be thinking of something else, and he didn't get to. No, he did do that. And then there was one more that we could work on together because, like, yeah, I mean, we as you said, we were talking about it last week. The only thing I wonder is like if it's not too exciting for us. I mean, I'm happy to work on it. It's just like it's that one that that's like going through and like changing like one by one or maybe trying to change like global find and change like of all the instances where it says Haro throughout the code base. So it's like not anything technically challenging at all. It's more just like kind of a chore that needs to be done, really. And I mean, I was kind of thinking that maybe if no one else does it, just kind of trying to just go do it because it might not be interesting for people to do. But if we want to work on it together, I'm certainly happy to do that. I mean, maybe it'd make it faster if we have like more than one person going through the code base and changing, especially if we need to do it one by one, like. Or maybe not one by one, but in batches. I don't know. So that's certainly an option. But I can share my screen and then because I might be forgetting about another ticket. There was one of those 3s that's more interesting.
I suggest work on a more technical one so that we storm a little bit, we brainstorm a little bit instead of working on just changing the names.
Yes, that's what I was thinking, is that we do something that's like a little bit more challenging, maybe. Like,
yeah.
I mean, so the new tickets that were added are this one here, which we've voted on and kind of revealed the votes already, and we've agreed that like all of us chose medium and Sam chose hard, and he justified why he chose hard. And I said, like, unless anybody else has a problem with it, I'm just going to make it hard because, maybe it takes longer than we think, and it's better to overestimate than underestimate. So that's ready to be worked on. For some reason, like this is, I don't know, maybe I just don't know how to use it, but this like pivotal tracker thing, like it's like putting these in like specific, like 10th of June to 11th of July, which is not what I want. I want it to be like but I don't understand why it's not iteration length in weeks. I don't understand why it's not letting me move it to. Just, I don't know if it makes it difficult for people to find tickets to work on, you know. But anyways, we have that one, which is this one is it's hard, I guess, and it's like, you know, on the first instance maybe we could put in a PR that's not so difficult, because we could like do a Rails generate scaffold and then generate like a services scaffold, which would generate like a model and a controller, and I can't remember everything scaffold generates, but it would generate like some cool stuff for us. And then we could see if we could get like some CRUD for services working. And then if we get that working, then just submit that as a PR. Like Sam was saying that maybe we should make this into an epic instead of like one ticket. So we could have like, you know, maybe scaffold it and have like a basic services that, you know, CRUD for services that could be created, and then we get that merged in and then move on to like step 2 of this epic. I guess like it's kind of difficult to, I think one of the other tickets I can show you what that will look like. I think it's this one here. So this one here is to like create this one looks like a lot of fun, is like create an import services task, which I think is fun. And then that import services task should like be able to speak to a JSON that looks like this, like an API, you know, that has like delivers a JSON that looks like this, and like be able to create, you know, so this would be like, we wouldn't be able to actually test that it's working or create anything until after we got the scaffolding, like the CRUD working for the services. But like it would be something like this that the model would need to be able to like like have these type of attributes on the table. And this was like a 2-pointer, like a medium, because we have some examples of import tasks and stuff that we can maybe use as a guide. And then this one is like very similar, but with like import organizations, but like a different, we already have an import organizations, which I think, Stella, you've had a look at and worked on a little bit, and so have I. So we're a little bit more familiar with this import organizations, I think. But this one would have like this is the API that would like maybe give a JSON that looks kind of like this, and then we would need to maybe like, I don't know exactly, like maybe iterate through this and look for any similarities between our base organization's model and like what it is that we can save from this. I don't know. Like, yeah, don't know. Now that I look at this one looks a little bit more complicated, but yeah, it's like a new import organization is tasked to work with the source data, just like the existing one, but consumes data from this. And yeah, that's it for the description. Please stop me if you want clarification or anything. Then there's this one here, which this one is another 2-pointer, which is like ability to set which tabs appear in the nav bar by default. So then Siri asked for some clarification, and then I wrote back like we have, you know, these tabs here: home and organization and volunteers. And the idea is that in the future we want to give control to the admins to be able to choose which tabs to show. So this way, if there are some who don't want to show the volunteer tab, for example, they're not required to. And also we'll be adding the services model to work with another client. So maybe the original Haro CN doesn't want to have the services displayed in you know, because they're not going to have any services to add, for example. So there's that. Then this is the one that we were talking about that's like maybe more content work. It's like going through and replacing Haro with something that can be changed that can be changed through the use of a setting. Which, you know, maybe is something we kind of, one of us starts and pushes up and another one picks up, or you know, something like that. And I think those are the ones from that were listed as white label, like so I think that I think the three, if I'm remembering correctly, the three are the one that we did, the one that Sire did, and the one that we were talking about maybe not doing together. That could be make it possible to specify which part of the site we're on. We did that one last week. Make banner image modifiable. That one Sire did. Need to make the site title modifiable. That one I feel like, I mean, yeah, it's finished. That one Sam did. Ability to admin, yeah, Sam did that one. I mean, we actually don't have any of these changes deployed, because we ran into kind of a blocker deploying it, which I've subsequently got past, but Sam's still deciding if he feels comfortable using the technique that I used to get it to pass on staging and on production. So it's not completely deployed, but that probably is okay for us. Yeah, so those are the options. I think we have this one here, ability to set which tabs appear in the nav bar. We have the import services, we have the import organizations, and we have this one here, which is like starting off with maybe CRUD action for services. So, Star, what do you feel like working on?
Give me a sec. I'm still thinking.
Yeah, no rush. Abdullah, did you have any questions about any of that? I'm not sure if you understand. Like, there's this epic that we have called white label.
Yes, I don't understand what does it mean, a white label.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really like this term. I think it'd be nice if we had another term. But Sam did post something about it, like in somewhere. So a white label product name derives from the image of a white label on the packaging that can be filled in with the marketer's trade dress. Its origin can be traced to the vinyl records. Before records were released to the public, often before official artwork was designed and printed, promotional copies were sent out in a white sleeve. Illicit, blah, blah, blah. So like what we mean by white labeling is that at the moment, this is the Haro CN site, and this is like very much branded. Like it has here the Haro Community Network banner at the top, which you can't see because you can't see my mouse, but like I'm pointing to this, you know, the banner that says Haro Community Network at the top. So that's something that Sire worked on, and he like added the ability for the admin to be able to choose what image to display. So we have, for example, I think the best way to show you would be to come here. Actually, we have deployed. This is like a paying customer for Agile Ventures, and now we have the title is modifiable, and we have like no image here. So we could put an image there if we wanted to, but the point is just like we can add it to have no image or whatever image we want. And then also the map is now modifiable. So instead of it starting with this like Haro at the center, it starts here like closer to London at like this Kensington. This is like the Kensington and Chelsea social whatever community, yeah, social something, I don't know. I mean, this here is not correct. So this is like one of the things that, you know, we could all be doing when we're not like together, maybe, is like going through and, you know, finding where this is talking about. So this community asset is a service provided by, and then like change this to be, you know, to be something that can be set by the admin, and change this here to, instead of Harrow area, to be like Kensington and Chelsea or whatever. I mean, at the moment, I guess there's no organizations here, but like Sam has some stuff working locally that I don't think I can show you really, unfortunately.
They offer an API to import the
Well,
data.
the thing is that we're waiting for API, but while we wait for the API, like there's a different like there's a different group that was like hired before we even were around, that has a site that I'll try to see if I can find. I'm not as prepared to answer these questions as Sam would be, but you know, without him around, I'll do my best. Like, I mean, I certainly have heard him explain it enough times to where I should be able to, but I don't know if there's like a portal somewhere here. Right. Residence news events, contact us. Read our article, read our strategic plan. Let me see. Maybe he might have posted the site somewhere. Sorry. They basically have like a site that keeps track of all this, that's built in like Civi CRM and some other let's see, NHS. Do we have anything in the NHS wiki? Primary care networks. I mean, I guess I might have to just leave it at that and ask Sam to share those links somewhere that we can actually click on them and look at it, because I might spend too much time trying to find the site, and it's really not like nothing too crazy that you need to see to understand. Like it's basically a site that shows different organizations that we're going to be working off of, and like I've already they have like, so at the moment we have CSV dumps, and like the CSV dump, Sam's done some work to convert that CSV dump into a JSON, which that will let us do the things that we need to do to get local support like ready to be able to handle like the API, and then we're just reliant on them delivering the API. And if they don't deliver the API, at least we have like yeah, at least we have like our side ready, you know. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I mean, I probably could, like, there's a video of us yesterday when we were talking about this, and I'm sure he shows me then. He kind of shows me every time we have a meeting about this. because he was looking, he was talking about the different things that, what are the things that are similar and what are the things that are, I think it's here, maybe the Civi CRM. No. Darn. Yeah. Access denied. So that's at the same site. So that means, it makes me think that it is at that site somewhere, but I'm not sure. I think we actually have it linked in our wiki as well, My care, my way. Yeah. So what do y'all think? Grace has joined us. Hey, Grace.
Can we start with the one for creating models, services, and controllers? Because there are some which are related to that one, depend on it.
Correct. I agree with that. Yep. That's actually what I was thinking of starting myself yesterday, and I didn't get around to it. And it's also something I think, Stella, you have some experience working with, like generating scaffolds and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, in theory, that part of it shouldn't be so difficult unless I'm missing something. Like I feel like this 3 points shouldn't maybe scare us off, in the sense that I think it's like there's a lot of baby, a lot of little steps to get to the whole, like that's why Sam was saying maybe it should be broken into an epic. But I think, if we were able to just get the scaffolding done and get a PR put in, that would be a huge step in the right direction, and then we could go from there, Yeah, I mean, I guess just share this with you real quick, and then we can get actually coding. So Sam was saying everything is smooth, then it could be medium, but I'm anticipating unanticipated problems. It's a new database model controller, and it involves either knowing multiple aspects of the entire system or becoming familiar with them. Adding the events entity as a similar thing, and that has taken many months. Although, yeah, I mean, I think that's true, but I think when I was doing stuff with the events, I think one of the difficult things that we ran into with that is supporting reoccurring events, which is kind of difficult. Whereas these services, wouldn't involve that, but certainly that's true. The event stuff is not even deployed to production yet. But anyways, it might make more sense to call the services an epic and break it down into individual components, such as creating the services list. I'm not sure what he means by list, but okay. Creating new services.
Fetching all.
Oh yeah, doing the index page or something.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Creating new services.
Again, at first this was confusing because you've worked with rail services, right?
I have, yeah. I mean,
so,
yeah. Sure.
So at first I was not getting the relationship between controllers, models, and services. So
yeah.
What do you mean? What is the essence of services, and shouldn't we name them something different? Because
I can understand. I can understand why that's confusing, and I maybe glossed over the answer to that. I don't know who called them services first. I don't think it was Sam. I think he received the CSV dump that included maybe we're guessing a little bit because we haven't seen the schema or anything, but it involved having an organizations table, which looks similar. When you break it down into it, when you convert it to a JSON, look like this, which is a table with a lot of different attributes. That's the organizations table. And then you have you have a different table, which is they're calling the services table, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And that's those services, they have like, they share the contact ID. So then like that, that is what joins them. And then like this has different information that the organizations table doesn't have.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like in some way, like he was saying somewhere, I don't know if he wrote it down, but he was saying like in the same way that like here we have volunteer opportunities. These volunteer opportunities belong to certain organizations.
Mm-hmm.
So in the same way, like, yeah, so we have certain organizations. I think one of the organizations here might be like Do It. Although I'm not 100%. No, right? That's kind of surprising. No, Reach Skills. So right, I think because the volunteer opportunities come through Do It, but then they have like Listening Samaritan. Well, no, that's title of the opportunity. Help Out Harrow maybe is the name of the organization. No, right. Well, I don't know what I'm talking about, but they have some sort of, some sort of, yeah, it seems like it is Help Out Harrow. They have some sort of relationship with the organizations. Like Do It is the organization that we bring in the volunteer opportunities from, but then there's several different organizations that send opportunities to the doit.org. So, and those have a relationship with the volunteer opportunities, have some information about the volunteer op. And then if they don't have, and some of those volunteer opportunities have geocoding, like this one. So that means you can put like a volunteer opportunity on the map. But then if it doesn't have that information, then it falls back to like the organization's geocoding. So I think that it's like something, what Sam was saying was that it would have some sort of relationship like that, where we have the organizations and then the organizations have like some services that they provide in the same way that organizations have volunteer opportunities.
Okay. It's just that the word was a little bit confusing.
I agree. It's like, are we supposed to create a service and yeah, I mean, maybe we should be thinking about the name of that, but yeah. So, were you going to drive today, Scala?
Yeah, it's okay. So, should we go ahead with that name?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. I feel like if we go ahead with that name, we could end up creating more work for ourselves because we need to change it. And I feel like if we decide on a different name that makes sense to us, we could equally like have Sam overrule us and say, we need to go with the name that is the name of the table that they've created. So and I'm not sure. What's your
Sam is not online.
What's that?
He's offline.
Sam?
But we could just do it for now, and then once we have work in progress, then we could ask him. If he says we need to change the name, we'll just destroy the scaffold.
Yeah. I mean, I would probably. I mean, I'm happy if you want to do it that way. I would probably lean towards just calling it services for now, particularly since that's what he suggested, and then we could like make a, kind of in the work in progress PR, say this was actually kind of confusing for us. Is there any chance that we can rename this so that it's not so closely like related to a different service that we are used to in Rails?
Yes, that's exactly what I was saying. Maybe we'll sing it differently.
Okay. I thought you were saying we could come up with like a really cool name that makes sense to all of us, and then just have Sam be like, nope.
No.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Sweet. So yeah, we're on the same page then. And he was kind of saying that maybe we do the scaffolding and then we end up like not using it. So that's always a possibility, because maybe it's too much, or maybe it's not, it's not custom enough for what we need. But I think it's a good start,
Please share the link to the story so that we can find it easily.
Yes. Here you go. I'm just going to mute myself for 1 second, but I'm still here.
Okay. So I'm just going to share my screen.
Okay.
And
yeah, I focused the recording on you now, so
cool. We can start on it. So click start. And then I go to my terminal. This was an issue I was working on before. Make sure we are up to date with.
Welcome, Mike.
Come again.
Hey, Mike, you decided to come do some Rails, huh? Too much React for you.
Yeah, Abdelani. When he told me he was there, I was like, wow, okay.
I mean, actually, it's really cool what we're doing. I don't know. Have you done any like generate scaffolds in Rails, Mike?
Wait, I'm looking for a cool name to shorten these
Yeah.
long texts.
Yes. Scaffold services?
Okay.
I don't know if it's so cool, but
it makes
You
sense.
said,
yeah, you could call it like scaffold services mob or something, but
I think we can go with that. So
yeah.
It doesn't say. Wait, where are we getting the attributes that we're going to use?
I think we're getting the attributes from that other table from the import, which I think you can probably find, but I could send you a link to it as well.
Mike.
hey, hello.
Hi.
Yeah. What are we working on?
We're working on this issue. Matt has shared it. It's issue. The first link he shared. Matt, you've shared the link to everything.
Yes, I'm the official link share.
I was looking for that specific one which has the data that we're going to scaffold.
I shared it. I can tell you where it is as well. It's under July 8th to August 4th. It's not the last one I shared. The last one I shared, I reshared because Mike might not. I can't remember if he was in the call when I shared it the first time. And unfortunately, when you join the call late, you don't get like the history of chat. But like there it is, yeah, right there. That one there, import services task. On like the 84, yeah. So that one there has like it has a copy of what the attributes will be something. I mean, at some point we're kind of, reliant on them to create the API, like to give us the information that we want from the API, and they could say no, but.
Are we going to use these exact names? For instance, delivered the organization name, display name, self-care one-to-one or group.
It's a good question. I'm trying to think what we did because like we're doing something kind of similar with like the Charity Commissions API, which I think you had a look at as well, Stella. And I feel like we might have been keeping the exact names that the API had for like consistency purposes, but I don't know that for a fact. I'll just have a look. Here's the schema. Create table. Yeah, so we did keep the exact same names, you know, just with like I think we have to use like underscores, you know, where there might be spaces.
But those ones look a bit shorter compared to the ones we have.
True. Yeah, that's a good point. And I mean, these are actually like, I think these are actual tables, and then the attributes are like these here, which are even shorter, you know, class.
Yeah, we can try shorten them.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so Rails G scaffold. It's called service. Wait, scaffold we use singular, right?
Good question.
So
it's like, yeah, because it's generating the model and the let's see, generating a scaffold. Rails 5.2. Rails generates scaffold name, and the name, does it say what the name should be? So scaffold's an entire resource from model and migration to controller and views. Wow. Along with a full test suite. Pass the name of the model in singular form. Yeah. Either camel cased or underscored is the first argument.
cool. Then delivered by organization name.
So,
shorten it to
sorry, go ahead. Shortening. Yeah.
org name.
I wonder if we should just shorten that to like delivered by.
Yeah, org name, no. Delivered by, yes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's kind of difficult to shorten that one, isn't it?
Okay, as you think of that one, I can move on to the next.
Yeah.
That one doesn't need shortening. Display name.
Yep.
Self-care one-to-one or group.
Look at that. So Sire is available. He's asking us, why do you want to use scaffold? So hey Sire, let's talk here. So I guess he's listening, so we could respond there, but like I think I was the one that was suggesting we use scaffold, and I think I was suggesting we use scaffold because Sam had suggested we use scaffold, and I feel like maybe the benefit of using scaffold here is that thing that we were just saying, is it like scaffold's the entire resource, so it'll create the model for us, but it's also going to create the migration that'll add it to the database. It'll create the controller with like the CRUD actions, and it'll create the views as well, along with the test suite, which the test suite we might not use, but like, and that might be a benefit or might not be. Like in the end, we might not build off of this, like that, at least that's what Sam was suggesting. And you know, but it's kind of like a way of maybe quickly trying to get something working, and then we can kind of like, maybe we end up like scrapping a lot of it and building stuff from scratch. But I certainly feel like we don't have time in this pairing session to be able to build everything from scratch. Although, I don't know, like we could be just focusing on building a model, for example, and go from there. I mean, Stella, do you have any, like, I don't know, do you have anything to add to that? Like, what's your experience working with scaffolds? Do you typically like to start with them, or you typically steer away from them, or?
I totally agree with you. And then from there, then we can start working on things specific to models, controllers of views, but the scaffold will do the basics for us instead of building everything from scratch.
Yeah. Yeah. I was telling Mike the other day that, like, we were talking about Create React app and stuff. And I was saying that I feel like maybe a lot of times when some people who know exactly what they want on the Rails side of things maybe don't use scaffold a whole lot, because it maybe creates a lot of things that you don't necessarily want created. Like, for example, the test suite, we probably don't even use the same test suite. We're probably, going to use, like, we're going to be using RSpec, and I don't think it creates RSpec for us. I think it creates like mini test or something. So, like, maybe it creates some like fat along the way. So maybe there's an argument to be like, no, just build from scratch. But I think, like, in this case, I feel like our goal is to just try to get something spiked that works, and then we can always improve it later. I mean, does that answer your question, Sidi?
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Okay.
You guys hear me?
Yeah, we can. Are you not a fan of scaffolding? Is that why you're asking, or? Are you not a fan of scaffolding?
I'm not a fan, but I was thinking.
Is it my internet?
I don't know. I was thinking the same thing. I was like trying to give space for Sidi to finish his thought, but then I think maybe the internet's not good on his side. Sidi, we can't hear you. I don't know if you're still there. I'll try to reach him on the chat. So he's muted himself, so I think maybe he's still there, but yeah, I mean,
sorry, I get disconnected. I don't know if you guys
really
heard what I'm saying.
The last thing you're saying is you're talking about why you asked the question about the scaffold.
Yeah. As you said before, scaffolding brings us some files that we probably don't really need.
Yes.
And but I can understand it from the fact of doing something quick and knowing exactly what you're looking for, and maybe after refactor. Yeah, there's no problem for that. Yeah,
okay, cool. I mean, I typically try to stay away from scaffolding, to be honest. Like, I mean, I've definitely used it before, because it's really cool to see. Like, it's super powerful. Like, I remember the first time I used it, I was like, the first time I was introduced to Rails, I was in an English class. I was trading an English class for a programming class, and the guy, I had met, like, I'd done stuff in Ruby, but I'd never done anything in Rails, and he like introduced me to scaffold, and I was just blown away.
Yeah. Even me. I was like, I was interning in a company as a network admin, and there was someone who was a freelancer who came to do some Rails project, and when the first time I saw that scaffold, I was blown, like, wow, because I learned PHP and Java when I was in university, and it's not the same history, you know.
Yeah.
And seeing that was like, very powerful.
Blows your way, right?
When you go, you get better in Ruby and Rails. You understand that that's not the best way to go through.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like there are a lot of parallels with like Create React App, you know.
Yeah, but you were asking if it will generate some aspects files, and I think it does, but I don't know in which version of Waves. If you install aspect and you use scaffold, it will generate some aspect test files.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, here they're doing mini tests, but that's probably, I mean, this is Rails 3, so this is not, you know, probably the best site to be looking at. And maybe it's like, maybe it is a flag as well. Like you can tell it to do RSpec. Like
not specially. What I used to do sometimes is when you start the application, when you create the application, like when you say Rails new, you give the flag -t, I think, to tell him to not come with the minute test files, and after you install, and when you do the scaffolding, you have the aspect files. Or there's also a command to maybe you can add on the configs to tell the application when using scaffold to generate from aspect files.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So cool. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, server, yes, generator. Yeah. So, Stella, you were adding the attributes, and I don't know if I saw. Had you added the types to the attributes?
No, I got stuck with the names because they were so long.
Oh yes.
So
yep.
Needed your input on shortening them.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, I guess Sierra is the only one that hasn't given his opinion on that. Sierra, we have this issue where we have these names that are coming in from a third party. Like these are from like a third party CSV dump. I think you were paying attention on the video yesterday, so you might have seen these that Sam was talking about. And this is our what we're using as our fake API at the moment because we don't have a real API. And so we have all these attributes that the question is whether to like actually add those in their full length as attributes to our our schema, or we should be shortening them, and if so, how should we be shortening them?
I think the problem here is how we consume that information. If we have something between the file and the how I can say it, and the database, some kind of, if we will have a model or something that will help us consume all that data, and yeah, it's kind of complicated because if we have some long attributes names, I don't know if they will be the database will be complaining for that, but if you can have it, it's better to have it like that, so you don't get confusing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's what I was kind of saying with it. I mean, so one of the things that we want to be doing, like not in this session or in this ticket or anything, is to like be creating a import. So right now, I don't know if you can see my screen. I'm like, I've come into the develop database. I believe it's the develop database, which I've dropped earlier, so I don't have anything in it now. And like, we have this import organization. I think it's import organization service that which also that's another thing to get your opinion on about the whole name of the but yeah, so we're gonna have, so I think this is import organizations, what I think I was looking for, maybe Trace gonna fail to open TCP connection to production.charity get address info name or service not known. Right. That's probably because that's not running, maybe. So I don't know if I can import the organizations. I probably can do like seed it though. It's DB. Yeah, I was just trying to see what the attributes for this are, because this is similar. Like we're importing organizations from, like, yeah, we were looking earlier at this, the charity commissions. We have all these different tables.
Yeah, I can understand the idea of having some services that will import the CSV files. That's right, and turn it into,
well, kind of, yeah.
Some,
I mean,
some data that our database can store. That's how you want to do it.
yeah, basically. I mean, at the moment, that's what Sam was doing, is like importing the organizations from CSV. But then he found like that he could convert the CSV to JSON, and then now he found another thing that I can't remember. I can see if it's in the notes from yesterday, probably, where we can
I've seen
actually,
it, I think.
yeah. So we can actually push
like
it
a
up.
JSON server,
Yeah,
or
exactly.
something like that. Yeah,
Exactly.
okay.
Yeah, Jason. Yeah, I think that's actually the
like
name
having
of it.
some REST routes that can help us. Okay, I've
Exactly.
seen it, I think.
Yeah. So yeah, this here. So then we could actually push this up, and like one of the things that maybe I could be doing is like putting this up on Google Cloud Platform, and then we could have like a REST API. Like I probably want to do this maybe even before we write the import the service. So yeah, that I think it'll talk to this basically until we get the real API. But yeah, that's the thing is like,
I think for this purpose it's better. Go on.
No, you can talk, because I was gonna show you something and I need to open it.
I was thinking like it's better to, if we have. Yeah, okay, go on, Stella.
I was saying from the schema, the names look short, and although it's hard to figure out what he was describing, like this one called SUBNO, so I'm guessing it's sub number or something, but you can't tell what he was describing from the names.
Yep. Yeah, I'm a little foggy on remembering exactly what. Because what we get from the Charity Commission API, for example. Let me see if I can start it. And then maybe we can have a look. I mean, not that it's exactly the same thing, but it might help us start Charity Commission's API production. Where that's going, can come in here, can enter her CN staging, for example. And then here we can do Rails console. And here we can do organization dot first. Yeah. So here we just have like normal naming thing, normal, like name and address. But this is because this is our base organization. This is like what we created. Like I think the latest thing we added was this imported at, so we could see if it was imported like from Doit, or like we have that import organization. So now we want to know where it's being imported. And I think but so we're not changing anything about our organization model. We have our organization model, and what we import, we use what we can use, and what we can't use, we just don't have. But this one's a little bit different because this services one will only will be created just for this purpose. And I guess there wouldn't be anything that there's no reason we have to keep the names, right? Because here, like this, we say update the address and update it with what's in the charity ad one. We don't we didn't think about changing the name of this to ad one. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm leaning more towards maybe renaming them, but I don't know. I mean, whatever I say is Sam can have reasons for wanting it, one way or the other, and maybe we shouldn't deliberate on it too much because Sam might make a good argument one way or the other for why we should do it the opposite way, and then we just need to change it anyways. So
I don't have a problem changing it in future, so
we'll
go with shortened names.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're way too long. I mean, that unfortunately, if we did go with all the long names, then we don't have to go through them one by one and talk about what do you think it should be shortened to? Oh, well, this makes sense to me, but this makes sense to me. But I mean, I'm happy, Stella, I'm happy to help you to shorten them if you want. But I'm also happy if you want to just do what makes sense to you and however you want to do it.
I'll prefer if we all storm on the names.
Cool. We can take turns. Maybe you can start us off with the first one, and then I'll take the second one, and Sida can take the third, and Mike can take the fourth, and we just go like that until we, and then we'll have if someone particularly doesn't like the name I chose or something, you can all point the finger at me,
Okay. The first one, do you go with delivered by or organization name?
Yeah, I mean, I guess when you said org name, I suggested delivered by, but I think I like the org name better actually, or organization, even maybe. If you say organization and it's a string that's would that be unclear if it was is that name actually necessary, or could it just be organization?
Does it say who should the field be the organization that delivered something, or is it just yeah, I mean, is it just
that?
Yeah, I think I was just asking if we just have it as organization, maybe it sends a different message than delivered by. I don't know, but maybe delivered by could someday not be an organization but an individual. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, those are questions we don't really know the answer to, but it's a good point. I think what Sam was saying is that he's the one that's looked into this data more than any of us here, and he was saying that it seemed to him at least that, unless I'm just mischaracterizing what he said, but what I understood is that he said it seemed to him that the services are provided by the organizations, but then you're right, maybe they aren't necessarily all organizations. Maybe there's individuals who do it as well. So, I mean, because we're kind of a little bit guessing, why would they say delivered by an organization name? Why do they need that full string? It seems we're not the only ones that think it would be better to be a little concise. So why would they choose such a long name? But I can't really answer that, and I don't know that any of us. Yeah.
I think it would be interesting to know what is the rate. This set of data is for an organization or for an event, or.
So these are like
Understand.
these. I really wish I could find that thing. Like I feel really unprepared to answer
I
specific.
am on the Stellar screen. I think what is
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
Stellar
no.
screen? That's what we're talking about, yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say like I would like to be able to show you if I could find the site, which I don't think I don't seem to be able to find. But if I can find the site, I would like to show you the.
I think it's KSCS. That's not.
Yeah, so I went to the KSCS, but like I couldn't find it from there. You know, like
Okay. Cool. No worries.
KCSC, and they have this like, and then I looked up like social prescribing, and they have like kcsc.org/new.org.uk. So that's like a PDF. There's this one here that's like, but is it somewhere like I don't know where I need to click from here? Here, self-directory. Oh, maybe that's probably it. There we go. Finally, jeez. So yeah, here I'm gonna link this somewhere. So I mean I'll probably remember next time, but here is the site I couldn't find. Yeah, so this is kind of what we're trying to add to the map, you know? So we have these like, what's the one that you're looking that he gave the example of? The name of the organization? Something cares? Carer? Huh? You know? Care support, cares trust? No. Let me look. Sorry. Here, the name is CARES Network. So I think maybe there's a CARES Network somewhere in here. CARES.
Yeah. It's actually next to what you had highlighted first.
Was it?
Okay.
Befriended CARES Trust, CARES Hub, CARES Network. Here. Right. So this is the organization. And like, then there's like funded services. There's like, I don't know, self-care service category, cares. If we apply that, then like the service, is there a service name here? Display name, cares training. So yeah, so there's that. So self-care service category cares. That's where I went to, and then there's display name cares training maybe that we could search for. No, there's no cares training. So I'm not sure why I couldn't find this example. Maybe it's not the display name. Maybe this is outdated. Maybe I'm not looking for it correctly. Like I searched by category. I mean, this is probably not important. I was just gonna like show where they're like where we're getting this that example data from. I mean, I guess like are we happy to just like shorten it in a way that we know might change, like, and not take it too seriously, because we can't add. There's only so many questions we can answer. Like,
Yes.
as far as I can tell, there are organizations. Maybe there are also individuals providing it, so that's why there's delivered by as well. But I'm guessing so.
Okay. Guess for now we can go with delivered by.
Okay.
Display name can remain as it is.
Yep. I agree. So this delivered by, though, like, do you need to add the type to it as well? Like, what if it's a string or a integer or that kind of thing?
If you don't pass the type, it takes string by default.
Oh, really? Oh, cool. Awesome. So you're like saving like typing by not adding a default that's already, yeah, nice. I like it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Self-care 1-to-1 or group.
Self-care 1-to-1 or group. Right. Yes. Right. They make this kind of difficult for us, don't they?
Want to be just like self-care?
Yeah, I mean, maybe, but
and be enumerable, like 1-to-1 as a value and group as another value.
Yeah, I can see what you mean by that.
I think what we missed here is like this whole hash represent a service. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of like, yeah. I think maybe we import.
And and a service is, for the first attribute, for example, like the service is delivered by carrier's network.
Yes.
And the second is the display name of the organization that delivered that service. Okay.
Well, I maybe.
Or the display name of the service, maybe.
I think it's the display name of the service, but then I can't seem to find that service like here in the.
Okay.
But I didn't look for train.
Maybe you can search by organization name, because on the search field they say search by organization name.
Yeah, I mean, I did find like Carrier's network, right? And I clicked on that service, like here, Carrier's network.
But can you just use the search field from the website?
Yeah, their search field. Yeah, Carrier's network. And then we have here Carrier's network, is where I clicked on here.
So they have
the Carrier's network. And so this will be like, so I don't know if you were here when I was saying, like, this will be coming in from the organizations. I believe, or maybe, yeah, I don't know, I guess, because there's like the import organizations as well table that we're going to be doing, which is like this one here, the new import organizations task. But that has all this information. It has a lot of information, you know?
All right. Okay.
Well, actually, I mean, a lot of these are null in the case of the Carrier's network. Well, I don't even know if he chose the same organizations. He probably didn't. But anyways, for this organization, a lot of these are null, so maybe they wouldn't show up on this view here. But yeah, you have all this.
I'm a bit lost.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I was like suggesting maybe we don't. I mean, there's always a chance that we're going to do something wrong, but like, we could, whatever we do is going to be, I think, hopefully a step in the right direction. And if not, it's going to like, highlight the fact that we actually need a little bit more information to like be effective on working on this. And then hopefully that will come and, we can make more progress. Like, I think I'll probably this week, I'll be working on this kind of every day this week. So we can have more pairing sessions, like, to work on stuff, particularly after we get some feedback on what we do today. And then, then we'll have like, the next week we'll have the Tuesday pairing session as well to keep going. I mean, there's always the chance that, Sam disagrees and says like, add the entire attribute, and I don't care if it's long or not because it doesn't matter, or whatever. I mean, in some ways that would make our life easier because then we don't need to like deliberate. We just need to say like, this is what we're being given from the API, and so we're going to call it the same thing as the API calls it. But
at my point right now, I'm not understanding the whole value, the whole data that we're having right now, because of if you go back to the website here, like that, you're looking for a carriers network, but you got 2 results, and each of the results, when you click on it, you have a different kind of displaying. So seems like the 2 are different objects, and it's kind of for the first one, if you click, for example, you have a different kind of this is the service, for example. And for the other one, it seems like the organization.
So this is like the carriers network, delivered by the carriers network.
Yeah, this is like the kind of data that we have on the hash.
Yeah, delivered by So I think that's it. This is what we get from the service.
But if you go back, and the other link, it seems like displaying the organization. Yeah.
What? What's displaying the organization? This link here?
Yeah, this carriers network.
Yeah, I think this is the organization here.
Okay.
And we're gonna get both of these.
But but why are we having that delivered by field?
Well, I think like what we were talking about earlier is like we have currently the Hera Community Network, this Hera CM. We have organizations, and then these organizations, like, I don't know if I can give you a good example, because I think this is on my local. Oh, this is on develop, which I'm not sure exactly what's going on with what's in the database. I mean, right now these have all been imported from the organizations, and like they don't have any information. Like as far as they just have this basic information, which is not very much. But the idea is that you have volunteer opportunities.
Yep.
And the volunteer opportunities we're bringing in from like 2 separate. People can add them as well, but 2 separate import services. One is for Do It, and one is for and something went wrong. One is from Do It, and the other one is from Reach Skills. So you have Do It, Reach Skills, then you have the ones of the Hera Community Network, and you have ones that are from both, apparently. So if I click on this, for example, we have this Help Out Hera. I think if I click on this takes me to Do It, right? So there's a site that we're communicating with the API to pull in the organization, and that maybe it's not available anymore. But like this has like, so this is a volunteer opportunity that is provided by an organization. So there's some sort of like connection between the organizations that we have in our database and the volunteer opportunities. And there's some overlap. Like, so if this volunteer opportunity, for example, If I can find one that actually exists. Apparently I can't. If this volunteer opportunity has like some geocoding associated with it, then it shows up with that geocoding. So here, Stanmore. Right? I think this probably wouldn't geocode because it's just the place. But anyways, let's imagine it did. Then this will have its own plot in the map, right? But if it doesn't, then because it has a relationship with the organization, it'll show up at like wherever the organization is, you know?
Okay.
So it's like, it's kind of like that. I think that there's going to be like some sort of the organizations will continue growing because there's multiple places we're pulling in organizations.
Yeah.
And or maybe it won't because it'll be its own. I think it'll be its own database. But there'll be like a similar type of relationship between volunteers and organizations and services and organizations, where services will have its own tab. I mean, you know, one could argue that we should just have like the organizations and have one tab, and that has includes the services they provide, and then we wouldn't need to like this whole delivered by. We could be merging those two tables just because they have them on as separate tables. And yeah, I mean, that might be cleaner, really, but it's definitely something we could bring up, you know?
Yeah.
At the moment, that's kind of what Sam is thinking, is that we have these two different tables that they're providing us. And like one of them is explaining the services that the organization provides, and in some additional information, and that could live in its own tab, you know?
Yeah, I can see.
Although it is a bit, it is mildly confusing because we have like a similar situation in the import organizations where we're pulling in information from the Charity Commission's API, and there's the name, the title of the, and there's like, postcode, for example, address and postcode. And we've gotten ourselves into a situation where we have like this situation where you can see this looks horrible because there's just the name, and you click on it and then there's no information about it at all. And, there's the postcode. And the reason this is like, if you look at the production site, for example, you can see like there's the organizations actually on the list of organizations in the index page, assuming the production's not down for some reason. So it seems like it is, or it's just like non-responsive. Yeah, I mean, this looks a lot better. Well, there's a volunteer opportunity. Okay. This. Come on, back end, you can do it. Man, we really need like some DevOps love, because this Agile Ventures Playground is just non-responsive, here we go. So like you can see here, this has like information about the charity, and lots, nice information, right? Yeah, and the reason why this isn't the reason why this isn't part of the import is because it's only hitting one table, the charities table, and like the information they have split into multiple different tables. So we need to merge different tables to provide the type of information that we actually want for the organization. But that's kind of what we're doing for that, is that we're just merging it, You
mean joining?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay, like SQL.
Yeah, like we're
okay.
Well, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, we're importing it from different. There are different JSON endpoints. So.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, the person who's working on more than I have been is Alvaro. Alvaro was doing something where he was like grabbing information from different
APIs.
That where we're iterating through both tables, right? And we were grabbing like, we were seeing if the reg number matched the reg number of the other table. Then we were like grabbing the charity object, which is like the description, and we were adding it to the JSON API so that we could then like import it from the local support side. So that's the thing, is we could be doing something like that instead of creating an entire services model, the controller, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Well, now I'm kind of
it's kind of complicated. This thing.
yeah, I'm kind of confused, really. I mean, we could be just doing what the ticket says, and then maybe it'll just be kind of just for us to do something, or we could be like stopping and kind of asking more pointed questions.
Yeah, I think it would be better for both of the sides. I mean, we should not do things because it is like that on the ticket. I think we have kind of some point to discuss about how is it better to implement things, and yeah, it will be great for us for the understanding, and it will be great for both for the sake of the project that we can find the best solution to go.
Yeah, I totally get that. I mean, I think it partially depends on what the ultimate goal is. Like, if we're concerned about like, you know, generating something with a scaffold and putting in a PR, and like we're really tied to like the results of it getting merged in to develop, then it might not make sense to do anything else. If we're kind of like take the idea that maybe this isn't the best way forward, or if it is, we would like to have like some explanation as to why we're doing it this way. But if it turns out that what we're doing now is not going to ever get merged in, then we're okay with that, because it would be cool to see like, you know, the scaffold do its thing and to put in a PR and to further the conversation in that way. Then we could do that. I mean, like, you know, I think it would take, generating the scaffold would take like, you know, a minute. It's just like what to name them and all that kind of stuff might take longer. But if we just say, forget it, we don't care what the names are, because we think that maybe we will, you know, either we'll move in a different direction or we'll get feedback on what the name should be.
All right. Okay.
And we could just like generate the scaffold real quick and kind of like agree to put in a PR and be kind of off the call in 5 to 10 minutes from now. And with the idea that maybe it's likely that the PR will never get merged. You know?
Yeah, I understand.
I mean, I'm not saying like we should do one or the other. I guess like mostly it's really kind of a question for Stella as well, because I guess Stella, you'd be the one putting in the PR and kind of maybe, you know, asking some more questions, or we can go there on your PR and post, you know, on behalf of the group if you want, or whatever. What do you feel like doing? Do you feel like there's too many questions for us to actually like even put in a work in progress pull request and ask for clarification, knowing that it might not ever get merged in? Or do you think we should just say, we tried, we deliberated, we didn't really get anywhere, and we want clarification before doing anything?
I think we can put in a pull request and then ask for all questions until things are clear.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Mike, you're cool with that as well?
Yeah.
Awesome. So I guess that brings us back to what to name everything. I mean, I got to be honest with you. I'm leaning towards, like, I don't know if this is bad, but I'm leaning towards just naming it what it is, and just knowing that like I would not do that myself if I were doing it. But like, it seems like the easiest way to get through this. But I'm happy if people want to spend more time, going one by one.
Actually, I don't have an issue with that.
Okay. Siré, do you have an issue with just going with our, potentially confusing naming convention and just like pointing out to Sam?
Yeah, no, we can go, and after we see what will we end up.
Okay. Mike, you cool with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't rock the boat, Mike. Well, none of us are happy with the naming convention.
I think maybe we could have advised them when they were creating the names, but now we are not able to do that. So
yeah,
you can just consume what they have.
okay, cool.
Service activities looks a bit long to me, so I've put text instead.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I was just going to see maybe if Ryder was on, we could invite him into the conversation if we really want to. if we really want to deliberate on the naming. No, I'm joking a bit, but I think like I'm trying to channel my inner Ryder, and I think like I think I speak for all of us when we're not happy with the naming convention, but we're accepting it for the time being.
Yeah, for the time being, yeah.
And really,
to see how to come with this solution. I mean,
yeah, and I
the problem.
I would be a little bit disappointed if we left this call without like actually running the scaffold. I know it's like I've done it before, but it's just it's so cool that it like does all that work for you. I mean, it's a lot of boilerplate, and it's maybe it's a little confusing because I like trying to convince Mike like, no, we don't need to use Create React App, but then I'm like kind of a little bit excited about running the scaffold, but
yep.
I guess like if this works, then we could actually create a service with the information we have from the like copying and pasting the stuff from the JSON. Like just to see if it works.
Yeah.
No, can you have another session tomorrow? It's getting really late.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we don't need to do that. I was just trying to. I was trying to think like, if my understanding of like what the scaffold is going to do, because I think like after you do this, you have to maybe run the migrations, and then after you run the migrations, you should have all like the CRUD in place to be able to.
Yep.
Right. To be able to create, update, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, everything.
Is service the name of the model?
Yeah.
Or is service a service layer?
No, it's the name of the model. So I was reading here on, where was I reading? It wasn't there. I think it was here.
Is that not just not telling enough? Or
well, with the scaffold, I think that's all you need. Like it takes, you do Rails generate scaffold, and then the name, you pass in the name, and the name is like, it says here, pass the name of the model in singular form. And you can either do camel case.
Like, I think what I mean is that is service a good name?
Oh, well, no. We remember, Mike, we already agreed that the naming convention is not good. Yeah, I guess that's a conversation that Stella brought up today as well, that you weren't here, is that it was a bit confusing, like the ticket, because like when you think of service and you're talking about Rails, it kind of, the first place many people's mind goes is like, actually creating a service that does something, like imports organizations or something, and that like maybe calling it service is kind of not the best naming convention. But we kind of said the same thing, like, if it were up to us, maybe we would call it something different, but it's what they call it. And yeah, and it's what Sam called it in the ticket, and we certainly should question that, but maybe we could question it in the form of like, putting in what the ticket is asking for, and then kind of, bringing it up that it was a concern of ours. If that makes sense. Oh, look at that. Woo! Oh, and it does. Look at that. Yeah, so it creates all the RSpec. Nice, beautiful. Helper classes. JBuilders. Even JBuilders. Woo! Wow, look at that. So we have wow, cool. That's amazing. Oh, we even have a coffee script. Yes. Beautiful. Yeah, it even responds to different formats. It has strong params. Look at the strong params. Beautiful. they're such nice, concise names. All right. Well, that's awesome. I mean, yeah. So it even comes with that comments that let you know that you can hit a services/one.json if you're trying to do API, right?
Yep.
Although I was looking with Mike at the fact that you can you can say on the client side where you're you can tell it to accept application/JSON, and then you can hit the same endpoint without the .json, and it will respond with whatever, as long as you have that respond to format JSON, it'll respond with whatever the JSON response is.
Yeah.
I don't know if that made sense, as you said, but
No, I didn't hear that. What did you say?
Well, it's actually it was brought up to my attention today that sometimes I go explaining things but don't show anything, and so it's difficult to follow what I'm saying. So I can show you. We have so we're doing the website run front end, which actually developing in Rails, like I do and Mike does as well. We have talks about rebuilding the back end as a Rails 5 API only. But we're kind of don't know when we're going to find time, since this is the priority for AV at the moment. But we have actions, and we have here, for example, this action. I'm hitting the PayPal new, which is a controller, and I added this .json to it, similar to what those comments were suggesting that you do from the generated scaffold comments. But then also I found out afterwards that you can add this accept application JSON to the headers of the request. And then what that means is that you can hit you can do a post request to just the events instead of events.json. And as long as you have in your controller that it should respond to JSON format, then it will know by the incoming headers that it's supposed to respond to JSON. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, something I learned that I thought was cool to share with the group,
Is there anything else that we're doing? Or we're commenting that one for now, for today?
I think it's just that, making sure that we put in some. I know for me, I'm gonna wake up after Sam is probably gonna have a chance to have a look at it. So, it might be good to write those comments. But yeah, I mean, for me, I've got to go to the human connection pairing session. I need to check in with Mike first, see if he needs any help with the React stuff, and then I got to do some human connection today.
It's okay. I'll just commit it and push it.
And yeah, it's like 11 o'clock for you guys. Well, not for you, Sede, but for you and Mike, it's 11 o'clock.
Yep.
Or it's later than 11.
No, it's 2 minutes to 11.
Yeah, right. Yes. So time to stop working.
Thanks a lot.
We don't usually ignore these files.
Which one's the lib IDN?
Let me show you. These ones, cache and stuff.
Yeah. So you can delete those. Well, I don't think that's answering your question. You're asking why do we ignore them?
Why don't we ignore them?
Right. Yeah. Well, I think that there's some of them, like when you make certain changes, like those require cache. I'm not sure exactly what those, but like the VCR ones, we don't want to ignore them because we want to check in, like when you first set up a test that makes like a API call to a third party, like the Google Maps or whatever. Then we want to record the first time it makes that outside request, and then we want to check that into our code base so that when every time the test runs again, instead of like making a new request, it will hit that like stubbed request, and then it'll return like the information from the stubbed request, you know.
Okay.
You can run the command on the chat to clear them for right now.
Yep.
Which one? Which one?
Chat window on Hangout.
Oh yeah. He shared it there in the chat. I mean, the other thing, like if you forget I've run it so many times that, and I have fish shell, so it kind of remembers everything I type. But like if you forget, you can do like a rake and then the hyphen, like capital T, and then grep for VCR, which is the.
Oh, nothing.
I think it's hyphen T, I think, and then. But yeah, I don't think it'll do autocomplete, but you can do like hyphen T and then like a space and a pipe character. Yeah, and space and then a pipe character and then grep VCR. I think you might need a space after the pipe character. I'm not sure if it'll. Yeah, and then VCR. And then hit enter, and then that will like tell you all of the rake tasks that, well, it should. Warning and huh?
Yeah, we said whatever. This is the command I'm supposed to run, right?
Yes. Oh, cool. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. So it does show it. It's just kind of with some weird output. You're saying that you're used to that output?
It's annoying.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's all.
So those, there's, I think, I mean, the libidn, that tar, like, I think that tar GG, I think you can probably just delete that. And that libidn directory, I felt like that was maybe get ignored, but I could be wrong. I don't know. I have stuff on my local support. Like if I do get status on my local support here, like I have a bunch of stuff that I never check in and I haven't cleaned out. So It's when it's on your computer, like you're more used to seeing it than when it's on somebody else's, you know?
Yeah. Scaffold service. Does that communicate what we've been doing or recopy the whole thing?
No, I think that's good, actually, really. I mean, that's what we did. Like, and yeah, I think that's good. Yeah. Woo! So, Mike, while Stella's pushing that up, how are you doing? Do you want to have, like, what are you going to do after this? Go to bed, probably.
Maybe we can hang out and do different things.
Sure.
And ask questions. Yeah.
Sure. So
I'm curious, Mike, what time do you go to bed?
I'm almost going to bed. Yeah.
He starts getting silly around like after midnight, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes Lyra kind of forces him to go to bed because she doesn't sleep before he goes to bed, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't even run the tests, but you can now post your questions.
Yep, no worries. Like, yeah, I think we can take care of that together, you know. No worries.
Oh, and this thing for co-authoring.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah.
How do you? It's on the comment.
No, it's in the commit. I think you need to like give a space in between the last. So I think at the moment you might not be able to do, but I think it's. I mean, I think it's okay. It's just the first commit. I think we'll, hopefully we'll be working together on this for a little while. So maybe we can, like you could do it now, like by doing a commit amend and then like force pushing it. But I'm not bothered by it if Mike's not.
No, Mike is not.
Okay.
So do we put it on the commit
maybe
title?
She wants to know how to do it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. You have to you need to do it on the commit message, like. So if you want, you could go back to your command line. Yeah.
We can't do it from here.
Sorry?
Like we can't do it from GitHub.
Not that I know of. No, I think you can't. No.
Okay.
So if you just do like git commit amend, or. Yeah, and then you hit enter like 2 times. Yeah, I think that should be enough. And then you do like co-authored-by.
Capital C.
Yeah, I don't know if it needs to be capital. I mean, I think from the example GitHub gives, it's like capital, but I'm not sure how sensitive it is, to like if the C needs.
Yeah, hyphen between authored by.
Yes, and then there's like after by there's like a colon, and then you put the person's name, like. Mike Aonu. Yeah, Mike taught me how to say. I was saying Onu instead of Aonu.
Wait, is that your username?
Nope. The reverse.
Yeah. Aonu Mike.
We use usernames or email addresses.
You think you need to put the email address. I don't think you need to put you definitely don't need to put the username, but you might be able to put, I'm not sure if it works with username or not. Like I just know how to, like the example that I found in the GitHub docs, which is like
we could try.
Yeah, sure. Why not? I mean, we're doing a commit amend anyway, so like if it doesn't work, then at least we know.
Actually, we could even try editing here and see whether it will pick up.
Sure. Why not? The worst thing that can happen is it doesn't work, and then we have more information.
Yes, I'll try. Or we do it on the okay, it's okay. What are your GitHub usernames?
That's a good question. Mine is yeah, it's the same as mine is everywhere. That's Matt WR18.
Small W.
Yes. Yeah, I mean the M is small as well, actually. And it's WR18.
Yeah, come again.
It's WR18. I've never.
Mike, what's the username?
Yeah. Mike is it's at Aonu, AONO, Mike. Yeah, all small.
Is there?
No capitals. Yeah, like that.
And Dia?
Sire is at Sire Gia. Let me see. At Sire Gia. No. Sire. I remember he's given me his email before many times. Sire Gia. GitHub. Sire Musagia.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I can paste it in the. He's there, like.
Oops, what did I do? What's Mo Sadia? No, I'm pushing to yes. Push. Wait, is it failing?
Oh my! I think you have to farts push it because you're changing the commit message.
Oh. Tansaku has had over 1,000 contributions.
Yeah, it's like I was looking at Robert as well. Robert has a similar amount. Ross Schaefer, it's like that. Robert has almost 3,000.
Wow.
But that's changed. That I think that's because of recently he did he changed to a mono repo. I could be wrong. I mean, or he just because last time I saw this was like more in line with Sam's. You know, it was like 1,700 or something.
How about yours?
He's been a busy boy. I definitely passed the 1,000 mark. But yeah, I'm at almost 1,300.
Wow.
But I still have a, yeah, I mean, there's like still like these patches here where I was just like, what was I doing? You know, like in April of last year, you know, like, and then there's like, look at all these weekends I took off, you know, no weekends, no weekend, you know, it's like a bunch of Sundays I just didn't do anything, you know. I guess that's, you know, not a bad thing, but.
Oh, you guys were not featured.
Wah. Yeah, I mean, I guess there could be a couple reasons why. Like it could be because they don't use like usernames, or like I certainly, like when I've done it before, I was putting like a co-authored by like for each person. And like, yeah, I've never used usernames. I've always used emails, but like it would be really nice if they used usernames, because not everyone posts their email, you know? So if like, you know, Side leaves or something, then you can't really recognize him, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, I don't think we worry about it tonight unless you wanna give it a go again. But I think
just send me your emails through Slack. I'll update it later.
Yeah, for sure. Let me send my email through. Mine's on my GitHub page if you ever need it, but I can send it to you on Slack because I'm already there.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, thank you. That was really nice. And Mike, I'll start another event in a couple minutes.
Good night, everyone.
Yeah, good night. See you soon.
Okay.
Yeah, let's try to find a time tomorrow, huh? Well, yeah. Mike, I'll start another event in a couple minutes.
Okay.
I just need to go grab some water and stuff.
Me too.
I'm about to stop more than a friggin' riot.
See ya.
Styles unsurpassable, and knuckles that suckers